Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about how this mono blue deck that I built is going to be performing in the Pauper format that Magic the Gathering Arena has created. It's free entry, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. If you get 5 wins, you get a Firemind's research, so that's the goal. This deck was based off of the mono blue deck that's been taking Arena pretty much by storm. The idea is we have a couple of evasive attackers. We have a couple of things that were removal, light removal, and we have some big hitters off to the sides, and we have ways of protecting our big attackers. So let's talk about these cards individually. Now these are the 5 creatures that I kind of have that are going to be the bulk of the deck. The first card that we're going to talk about is this Avian Windmage up at the top left. Avian Windmage is going to be one of our more major attackers. Avian Windmage is great because it can pump whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell. So all of the protection that we're adding, I'm expecting there to be a lot of removal. When we pump or when we use our protection to protect Avian Windmage, it'll pump Avian Windmage, give it a little bit extra. And so that's why I went with Avian Windmage. I love Avian Windmage. I think it's a great card. It's unfortunate that it's kind of slow, but you know, I enjoy it. Water Trap Weaver is another card that allows us to have some get in there for some extra damage. It allows us to remove a blocker for a turn, which could be critical, especially in that late game when we're just looking for that 1 or 2 extra damage. The way I envision this working, we have some evasive fighters, and maybe they get somebody at the last second to block for them. Well, Water Trap Weaver will make sure that that's not an issue. Next, we have Kitesail Corsair. Kitesail Corsair is fun. He's a fairly cheap card. When he gets in there, when he attacks, he starts to fly, so he has some built-in evasion. We really don't want to be blocking with him, so that's about exactly where we want to be. This is kind of a tempo deck. It should be fairly aggressive. We should be attacking every turn. So Kitesail Corsair is perfect, especially combined with our other 2 pirates. Our other 2 pirates are Shipwreck Looter and Deadeye Righthauler. Both of these cards allow us in the late game to do some shenanigans. Shipwreck Looter allows us to cycle that card, cycle our hand when we're in that late game, which I think is exactly what we need, so we can draw that protection that we need and get rid of some dead cards. Deadeye Righthauler is going to allow us to get rid of another blocker that they've put in, or maybe they have, or maybe they put something on us that we need to flip our own cards back and make some extra utility. Deadeye Righthauler is pretty good at that. So they're both decent bodies, a 2/1 and a 3/2 respectively. So if we have to play them just for that value, then we can, but we'd obviously prefer to get their raid effect. We do have 3 other threats in the deck. These are all one-ofs because I didn't really know what we needed in the top end. So Watcher in the Mist is probably one of our bigger bodies. It's a 3/4, which doesn't mean much. Big bodies in Pauper are pretty small actually, but it has flying, which is evasiveness. Yes. It also has the ability to surveil. Surveil is so critical because when we get to that late game where we're playing Watcher in the Mist, we want to make sure we can close the game out fast. So we want to make sure that we can get the cards that we need to do that. Windstrider has flash. It's a 3/3. Maybe it's useful as a surprise, you know, play it at the end of the turn, get that extra damage that they didn't think was there. It seems like it's worth trying. I don't really know. And then there's Cold Water Snapper. Cold Water Snapper has hexproof. That's the only reason why he's in here. He's a big body, 4/5. So he can do some blocking, but he's extremely hard to get rid of. And in this format, I don't know if there's a lot of removal. I don't have a lot of experience in Pauper, but if there is a lot of removal, Cold Water Snapper will be prepared. Now, how are we going to protect these cards? These are the spells that we have. The first way of protecting the cards in the top left is Dive Down. Dive Down's obviously a great card. It's so fortunate that it's printed in common. This is actually why I think this deck is possible, because I have both Dive Down and Spell Pierce, which is the 2 cards used in the mono blue deck to make sure that its cards are protected. So I like it. Water Net is another form of protection. it makes sure that they never have, or they can't race us just straight out. I think our bodies, our cards are very small, so they might have bigger bodies, and Water Knot will take care of those bigger bodies. I didn't talk about Spell Pierce, but Spell Pierce will make sure that if they try to, in the early stages of the game, use targeted removal or use board sweeps or something like that in the early stages of the game, Spell Pierce will just take care of that for us. Don't have to worry about it. As long as it's some kind of instant or sorcery speed, right? Opt is just cycle. It's not great, but it does work well with Avian Windmage, which is why I have it in the deck. Scry is very good. I'm hesitant to say Opt is the card that we want in that slot, but Opt is great with Avian Windmage. Opt is really good for searching through our deck, which is something that we really want to do. So that's why I have Opt in there. Blink of an Eye is just fun for shenanigans. It's a great utility card. I saw that it was common, and I said, let's put it in there. And then One with the Wind. We have 2 Blink of an Eye, 2 One with the Winds. These are just there for those situations where we might use them. One with the Wind is really to get there in case they build a ground force, so we can get one of our ground force, our utilities, into the air and start hitting. So that's the deck. So let's go and play it. Okay, so we're gonna jump into some games now with this mono blue Pauper deck. It should be pretty good. I haven't really played around with it too much, but I do enjoy playing Magic, and I think that this deck has some of the potential that mono blue deck has. This looks like an alright hand, so we're gonna keep it. I don't have any way of getting that shipwreck looter to really get the raid effect, but I don't need that early. I can just use it has a 2/1 right now. Cycling's not necessary. I do have some early aggro with the One with the Wind. It looks like I have 2 Water Trap Reavers, so we're gonna play those. Hopefully, open up some stuff for the Shipwreck Looter. We're trying to get some damage in early. That's the way it looks with this hand. We have some protection with dive downs, but that kind of slows us down a little bit. The fact that it comes in with 2 bodies and our Shipwreck Looter has a 2/1 is really important here. It means that even with the help of Water Trap Reaver, we can't really get in there. So the only way to get in is with the One with the Wind. So let's do that. We have some protection still with dive down, so I'm not really worried about anything like a murder or anything like that. Murder's an uncommon, and this is Pauper, so I shouldn't have to worry about that anyway. But I feel fairly confident with the protection of dive down that my investment will be worth it. So really, it's really more about the next turn. I have a 4 damage, so it looks like they're on a 5-turn clock. I outraced them, so things are looking good right now. And so I think I'm just planning on stalling the board out and winning with Shipwreck Looter. If anything happens to that, of course I have dive downs. Oh, there's another dive down. I have too many dive downs now. So let's go with the plan. Let's stall things out. The Deathbloom Thalid is going to be tapped out, and that's a very strong card because it can suicide block and create a 1/1 token, which will slow us down some more. Of course, most of our forces are in the air. We have a pretty good air force. We have a mediocre ground force, but we do want to try to deal some damage through the ground. The Shepherd is not a problem. We're just going to let him hit. We outrace him. So looks like our plan of slowing down their clock is succeeding, but because they keep playing things that can't really be ran into, we can't exactly deal or speed up our own clock. But we do get another Shipwreck Looter. So what we can do is we can cycle something. Because we have so many dive downs, and it's a 2-turn clock now essentially, I don't need 3 dive downs. I'd much rather see something else, maybe something that could speed the clock up just a little bit. Another One with the Wind would be great. This Mage, Avian Wind Mage, is pretty good. So we're gonna toss a dive down. We don't need 3, but we're doing all right. This looks like it's pretty much sewn up for us, unless they get something in the air. And if they do, well, They do. They have an Undercity Uprising, but they notice that we have a dive down waiting for it. If they get something through the air, our Water Trap Weaver is gonna get us in. So I think this one's pretty much also done. They're gonna all block. I don't care. We're winning so hard on the air in this race. So I think that's game because they have no mana. We have damage on board. So, all right. I think it's good time to call it good game and move on to the next one. Yep. So that's game number 1 in the bag. We have to win 5 of these to get that Firemind. So 1 down. Let's go. Okay, so it looks like our next opponent is Sirloon. We're going to go with that same plan, early pressure, and then have some tricks to hopefully get us through that, get us to the end zone. Alright, this is a slow hand, but hopefully with Opt we can search and find something. We won't die, which is nice. Pauper's kind of a slow format anyways, so it's alright to take this. That drawing an island does not help anything, but we're on the draw. I think it's kind of worth it to ensure that you have as many cards as you can. Good news is we're not going to be stuck for mana. That's for sure. Unfortunately, we got another island, so that was 3 islands in the row off the top. What are you going to do? It doesn't look like they've been presenting too much pressure. This is a Daybreak Chaplain. Okay, Daybreak Chaplain's not going to break us. We do pull a Water Trap Weaver, and so that's a little bit of earlier pressure. Not much, but it's something. Alright, so now we have an island, and then they're going to attach their short sword, get in that damage, keep things going. So I guess our plan is now, well, they made the choice obvious for us. We're going to use that Water Knot on that Daybreaker, and we're going to make sure that that can't do what it's trying to do anymore, especially after we draw a second Water Knot. That's just, there's no reason not to at this point. So it looks like our 4-turn clock to do anything is the right choice. It's alright. Again, because Pauper is so much slower, it was alright to keep that hand, even though it was a little bad. Alright, so it looks like they got a Pirate's Cutlass. Doesn't change the board state at all. So I don't really think that any of these cards are valuable to be played. I want to have them having a thing for us to really affect the board that way, but they don't have anything for my toys to use on, so I'm gonna hold out, I guess. I am letting them have things because they're almost out of cards. Maybe I should be presenting some pressure. So let's put out a Water Trap Weaver. It's not the best use of one, but I don't seem to have any of my attackers, so the Water Trap Weaver is gonna have to do. It's a 2/2 body, you know. Bears are good, so let's use the Water Trap Weaver and have them attack. It looks like presented with this challenge, they're gonna try to do something. Luminous Bombs. All right, that's a thing. So there goes my bear, but it's all right to have that happen. I didn't really lose anything, so I don't really know what the game plan is. We seem to be just passing. They have nothing. I have cards I don't really want to play, but I should present. Okay, they have nothing in hand now. There's no reason for me not to be playing things, right? One with the wind will speed up the clock, so let's just go. You know, something that's kind of cool. My Dead Rig Hauler. Once I attack with it, I can play the other one, bounce my Water Trap Weaver. You know, get some combo pieces back. Make it so that I can block whatever their next, or make the next thing tapped, whatever that they play next. So, okay, Squire's Devotion. This is a little weird, but it has another effect. It can create a 1/1. Perfect. So that's a 1/1. It's gonna get a lot bigger with all that equipment on it, but I guess that's what's possible. Now, obviously I don't want to lose my Dead Rig Hauler, so I'm going to attach my One with the Wind, or I could Water Knot it. Is it worth Water Knotting it? I think I just want to race right now. So I'm going to One with the Wind, get that going, and then once I attack, let's attack. Next, I can play that second Dead Rig Hauler in my hand, and I can push back the token after my of course. So now we're going to flip the token back to the hand, and the tokens do not go in the hand, so they're going to just be removed from the game. And that's perfect. Back at an empty board state. I'm pretty commanding. I have a 3-turn clock here, and he knows it. So that's the end of the game. I had 2 Water Knots in hand, so I was pretty safe. Okay, so now we're going to go into the next game. The next game is for Error is our opponent. Same plan. We're going to try to get some early pressure, and then we're going to protect that pressure. Again, it doesn't look like we have any early attackers, but we do have a Dive Down, we do have a Water Trap Weaver, and we have some protection, so it's not the worst. One with the Wind creates a faster clock. We get more protection. I guess we're having lots of protection. Protection is nice, I guess. Turn 3, I get my Water Trap Weaver out, which is a little slow, but alright. So I'm going to opt to see if I can find some early pressure, see if I can find some islands. It looks like I need some islands. I need to get that bear down on turn 3. So it looks like we got an island. Yeah, I think I need that island. So, perfect. Now we can guarantee that bear comes out on turn 3. Oh, we got another island. That's not the best, but it's not the worst either. Alright, so it looks like my opponent's got some life gain stuffs going on. I'm not worried. They have such a slow clock. Once I get going, once One with the Wind gets going, it's going to speed up pretty fast. Worst case scenario, the Luminous Bonds, just like they did in my last match. I don't really want that, so I'm going to make sure that, because I have so much protection in my hand, I'm going to make sure that my bears are protected. Only makes sense. It looks like I have all the mana I will ever need, so that's one less thing to worry about. And let's get a bear down. Now I could chain the bird. I guess that's alright. I think I want to make sure that no matter what happens, they attack into me, and I can block one of those damage. Alright, reducing by 1 damage. Small victories. Now this intrusive pack mule or pack beast is a problem. I have to read what it says, but when it comes into play, it taps one of my guys. So it's basically Water Trap Weaver, only for 2 guys instead of 1. That's kind of neat. I could have used Dive Down to protect my dude. 1 damage is not worth that. So let's be a little bit more careful. And let's get my... Oh, there's an attacker. I was going to say let's get my attacker out, but it looks like I found him. Okay, so let's get that 5th mana out, which is the critical mana. I can now play all the cards in my deck. And let's be patient. I have an attacker on the field. They're going to have to start slowing things down. So, that's perfect. Star-Crowned Stag's a problem. If they attack with Star-Crowned Stag, I can't block using one of my guys. It seems like they have a similar plan to us, only they're using white and we're using blue. So I need to deal with that Star-Crowned Stag, so let's use a Water Trap or Water Knot on it. It's the only thing that makes sense. Okay, it looks like we do pick up a pretty good card. Watcher of Mist, that's one of my late game threats. It's officially late game, so I think it's the perfect time to draw it. We could bump something, but we could not do. Alright, so now we're going to just be patient. There's no rush. We have a pretty large clock. We have cards in the hand that we want to play, so let's not rush things. Okay. They're going to bump their bird, make it a 3/3. It's going to go into our Avian Wind Mage, which is a 2/2, but we can use Dive Down. So Dive Down is perfect. We're going to block with our Avian Wind Mage, play Dive Down as an instant, bump our Avian Wind Mage to be a 3/6, and our Avian Wind Mage lives. Their bumped bird dies. Perfect. Everything works out. Alright, one less thing to worry about, right? He says good game. I don't think it's the end of the game yet. I still have to put up a board, but I think Watcher of the Mist might be the way to do it, right? If I can get Watcher of the Mist, I can figure out what the next few plays are going to be. That would be the most helpful thing. These are both good cards for the situation. I really need things that get in, and both of those cards are good. Avian Wind Mage, obviously higher quality than Kitesail Courser, but so we're going to place that on top and go in with our Avian Wind Mage. I don't want to pump. Well, I can't pump because I don't have mana, but I think I need to save anything that I might want for the second Wind Mage. So, again, they have a pretty slow clock. They're not doing too much. So, let's build the board. So we play our second Avian Wind Mage, and we go attacking. So we go attacking, and because they built up so much life gain earlier in the game, it's we're gonna have to cut through it, but it's not. Okay, Take Vengeance is a problem. Because they have so much mana, Spell Pierce does literally nothing, so there's no reason to play it, but that was kind of frustrating. I kind of like that guy. He had a short life, he did his job, but alright, so let's double block here, make sure I get some value. We still have a pretty good clock, so we're not going to worry too much. Alright, let's get our Kitesail Corsair out, and we have the extra mana. We don't really need to worry about anything because Spell Pierce doesn't do anything in this situation. So let's rebuild the board. Make sure that 3/3 does not hit us anymore, because we only have 9 life. We don't want to spin that with a 3/3. We could lose our Water Trap Weaver. We don't really want to, so let's keep that. But everything else, our Avian Wind Mages can go in and do some damage for us. Alright, so now we're in top deck mode, right? Obviously, our objective is to keep that Pack Beast tapped. Their objective is to find something sweet. I do have a little bit of a pump with Opt and Spell Pierce, but I don't really want to lose my 2/1. I need to keep all my boys on the board, right? So I could do one with the wind on Water Trap Weaver, but I think it might be best to just ensure that I have another successful blocker or attacker. And maybe if I build a big enough presence, I can attack on the ground and it'll be perfect. It'll be alright. I could have done that this turn, but I don't know. I think it might be... we just break even at that point. They could block both of my Water Trap Weavers. They've got nothing on the top deck, so things are looking up for me. With just 14 life to go, we're dealing 8 damage in the air, so that's 2-turn clock. Let's keep that Pack Beast tapped. And again, we drew a Shipwreck Looter, so we could cycle. Cycling's pretty good, especially in the late game when you're looking for that extra bit of clock. So they can't, no matter what, they can't block all of it, so I decided to attack with all. And we're going to use our Shipwreck Looter to cycle. Because Spell Pierce is useless, we're going to probably lose Spell Pierce. Got an island, which is not great, but Spell Pierce, so just in case you know, I don't know, some kind of... Alright, so they do get something this time. That means that they can double block my Kitesail Corsair, or they can try to eat a bird. No matter what happens, we're still in a good situation. And we drew another island, which is a little unfortunate. So let's bait them. Attack through the air. And let's go. They're going to block an Avian Wind Mage, which is perfect. We're going to pump. That's why you save your pumps. And then with that, we are dealing 7 to them in the air. Doesn't really matter what we draw. So that should be the game. Alright. That's 3 victories. We're well on our way towards that Firemind's research. So we have 2 more victories to pull. Our next opponent is going to be Daughter House. Alright, so this one is run it back, same as before. It worked so far. Again, this hand starts with a Water Trap Weaver, which is not what we want, but it's alright. We do have an opt to try to pull something better. And turn 3 is maybe not too slow. Again, Pauper is a pretty slow format. So Daughter House is playing red. Okay, so red is a little bit more aggressive. So maybe we do need something a little bit faster. We will definitely take a early Shipwreck Looter. No way to get that raid out, but it acts as a pretty good 2-1. Most of our things are bears, so Shipwreck Looter is a pretty good bird. So now we have something on the board. It looks like they might have something to say about that, though. Yep, okay, so it gets on the board. And then we have something to say about it. There goes my Shipwreck Looter. Looks like we will end things with a turn 3 Water Trap Weaver. I could wait until turn 4, which might be a little bit better. I do like the protection. So, let's be patient a little bit. With Spell Pierce, yeah, we have both forms of protection. I think the answer... it's red. Red goes fast, but I think we need to protect it. If we're going to put something out, we might as well protect it, right? That's what this deck has. It has a lot of protection, so we might as well use it. Frenzied Rage, big thing there is it gives it menace. No thank you. I don't have 2 creatures, so let's just not have that menace. Alright, one less thing to worry about. That would have been bad. Alright, so now makes that being patient play all the better. What is this? Wind Strider. Okay. I did not know I put a Wind Strider in the deck initially, but I guess it's going to be a big boy because it's 5 mana. It's a 3/3 with flash and flying, so we'll try to sneak it in. Once we have 5 mana, right now we only have 4, so we're gonna have to try to see if we can maximize that a little bit. Goblin, Ornery Goblin. Okay, so that's another person we're gonna have to block. I don't think we can get damage in with this Water Trap Weaver. It was probably gonna go on blocking duty and sacrifice its life. So we did get an Avian Wind Mage. Avian Wind Mage is huge. We can protect that guy, get into the air. That is a win condition. Alright, so now let's see. Direct Current. Alright, let's protect our Avian Wind Mage, because that's what we do. And then we're gonna block with the Wind Trap Weaver, and things are gonna move forward. Or not. Okay, so they do get the Avian Wind Mage. That's unfortunate. Would have loved to have that. But we're gonna block. Now, do we want to block the Pyromancer? Let's actually block the Goblin. Yeah, the Goblin can kill a Shipwreck Looter really easily. So let's just block the Goblin, and there you go. The Vishino Pyromancer lives another day. But not too long. With that 5th island, we're gonna flash in that guy and eat that Goblin, or eat that Pyromancer. I think that's the plan. Ooh, alright, so they got another one. Use that clock a little bit. We're not in a great position. The one with the wind doesn't do too much here because as soon as we play it down, they're just gonna play removal and eat it. But they are down to one card, so that's not too bad. Now we're gonna flash in our Wind Watcher. What is that card? We're gonna flash in and eat that Pyromancer. Wind Strider. There you go. They did pull up another Avian Wind Mage, and let's put it out of. Do we want to? Let's attack. Let's put it out of shock range. The last time, this gives us 4 damage. The only thing that I know that deals 4 damage in one hit is Lava Coil. Shivan's Fire does it, but they have to pump it. I guess they could pump it. Okay, they're trying to bait out the block so they can use direct coil. We're not going to do that. We're not falling for that. That would be bad. So we do speed the clock up. Now we do pull another Wind with the Winds. So let's place it on there again. Now they have to pump a Shivian's Fire and have a shock to kill our Wind Mage. That is one tough boy. So let's get in there with the bird. I feel like it's out of risk range now. It should be alright. They could probably kill our Wind Strider, but I think that's about the only thing you can really do. I don't really want to lose the Wind Strider. Maybe I should block, but it's a little too late. So, Trumpet Blast. Yeah, I definitely should have blocked, but it's alright. So now we're officially racing. They have 3-turn clock unless they do something. I have a 2-turn clock unless I do something. So I think let's just go for it. If they do somehow manage to beat the Wind Mage, that's why I wanted to attack with both. They shouldn't be able to deal with the Wind Mage, but if they somehow do, I want to be able to have lethal in 2 different ways. Maybe they get a flyer. I don't know what they're doing. Alright, so they do attack us. We go down to 4. They have direct current. Direct current can send us to 2. Do they have the shock? Do they have another direct current? Both of those would be bad things. There's direct current. Let's see. Looks like my computer's slowing down a little bit. Nope. Nope. That's the victory. Alright. We're at 4 wins now. 4 wins to the 5 gets us a Firemind. Alright, so it looks like our final boss is going to be Plague. Alright. Let's see what happens. This is for the Firemind's research in the 5-0. Alright, so this is an okay hand. We're going to keep it. I'm very reluctant to toss hands. Every card that I lose is a card that I kind of probably want to keep. So, Island goes out. This is totally playable hand. They're starting a little fast with the bird. Blink of an eye is alright. They try to pump that with a Knight's Pledge or some kind of Squire's Devotion or some kind of pump effect. We can flip it back. Of course, we're going to use our Shipwreck Looter as an early bear. They shouldn't be blocking with it with their bird, so it should be alright. Maybe we can get in some early damage. It also sets up our Deadeye Rig Hauler later to flip something back. Okay, so they're pumping the bird with the short sword. That's fine. Pulled another Blink of an Eye. So, okay. So we're losing this race, but we have bigger bodies in our future. We just need to get the mana down. We can't quite play Watcher in the Mists. Exultant Sky Marcher. Okay. So that shuts down Shipwreck Looter's attacks. But we can prevent this 2 damage here. Stall out their plan a little bit. Allow us to get our good guys on board. Particularly that Watcher in the Mists. That might be pretty good. The reason why I didn't want to push the Exultant back is because the Exultant is just... We're losing the race already. That lifelink is just killing us. So I really want to get rid of that. I don't have great plays here, so I'm going to search for something. Island's not going to get us what we want. A Water Knot is pretty good, but we're getting an island. Alright. No Water Knots for us. Do I want to blink this? I don't think I want to blink it. No, let's not blink it. Let's be patient. Once we get Watcher in the Mist, things are going to change, and the game will hopefully go back into our favor. They have the same plan as us, though. Big bodies in the sky. Only they're using short swords to pump them, and we're using one with the wind to get our ground force in the air. Which is alright. With the short sword, that means our Watcher in the Mist is less effective. Basically, be afraid. So that they don't kill each other. It's a permanent blocker. So that's a little scary. Especially when they play a second one. Okay, so let's get Watcher out. That's the only thing we can do right now. 2 islands. We like islands, I guess, when we need Water Knots. So, okay. We're going to toss both of those. No reason to attack. We might need to sacrifice our Shipwreck Looter in a little bit and pull out the Deadeye Rig Hauler to send somebody back. Luminous Bonds, that sucks. I was really hoping to get one of those Exaltants. Rustwing Falcon, that's fine, I guess. Healer's Hawk, yep. So they're emptying their hand. Hopefully they don't get much else, because what they've given us is a lot. How do we want to play this? I think the play is to ship back one of their Exaltants so that we can slow them down a little bit. Is that the play? Alright, we're going to trade with the Rustwing Falcon, which is fine. We want to play this. We could bounce our guy back. No. So we're pretty... There's very few good options, but I think one of the more interesting options is to blink the Luminous Bonds back and then eat a Sky Exaltant. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's blink the Luminous Bonds. We need to draw that card. We need to get something to slow these guys down. And then once they play Luminous Bonds, we can Spell Pierce it and get rid of it forever. So we pull up a Deadeye Rigger, which is good. And let's eat a Sky Exaltant. Exaltant Sky Marcher. My mistake. Alright. Good. Down to 6 health, which is not bad, but if that's what they have, then we can deal with this board. So I'm not too worried about it. Okay. That's another problem to deal with. I'm not sure how we're going to deal with it. Kitesail Corsair doesn't work. I was really hoping for a Water Knot. Okay. So what we could do is we could flip them back, try to stall the game out a little bit. I'm going to need to take down their life eventually if I hope to win. So maybe this is alright. Gets us another attacker. Maybe. Alright, so we're going to flip. Let's flip the more expensive card back. There's no good options here, so let's just do the one that we think might be alright. If we can pull a 1 with the wind, that would be pretty sweet. That would get us 2 bodies in the air. That wouldn't quite win the game, but yeah, I I don't know what we could pull that would win us the game. So I think we lost this one, which is alright. We can afford one loss, especially when they pull a second Healer's Hawk. Alright, so that one's probably slipping away from us. There's that Water Knot. What can we Water Knot that will win us the game? I don't think anything does it. So, yeah, we could play a Water Knot, but there's no point. Good game, Plague. We did not beat the final boss this time, but we still have another opportunity to get that Firemind research. We're not going 5-0, but we could go 5-1. 5-1's pretty good, right? As long as we get the research, we're doing alright. Kari Curry is next. Kari Curry is our next opponent. Kari Curry. This is a very good hand. I like this hand. I like it a lot. If we can pull a island in the next 2 turns, we will be doing super well. We have some protection in form of Water Knot. Opt is a great pump with 2 Avian Wind Mages. So this is probably going to be a pretty fast game. If everything works out, it'll be a fast game. We did not pull the island initially. We can be a little bit patient, I guess. So, Doom Dissenter, not good, not bad. This is pretty slow clock, but it does mean that they're probably playing a kind of control-y deck, so we might want to have some protection for our Wind Mages. We don't have that now, and we are looking at a fast clock if we do get our Wind Mages down. So let's just be a little patient. Okay, Darkblade Agent. Darkblade Agent is kind of aggressive, right? So I think I really don't want them to be drawing cards. If they can surveil and draw cards, that's bad news bears. I can't afford to have them draw cards, so let's Water Knot them. Alright. We didn't get our island, 4th island, so we have no protection, so there's no reason to play anything else. I think Water Knot's just the best play here. Now they have a slow clock. We hit first. I think we're doing alright. We're doing the things that we want to be doing. We have one with the wind to pump, but I don't really want to play it on anything. Make it too big, you know. So we're going to play our second Avian Wind Mage, get that down. We've got that 4th island, which is critical. Now if we draw protection, we can use it. Or we can just pump with Opt, you know, so that 4th land is really critical. Moment of Craving, it sounds like a good time to pump with Opt. By pumping with Opt, our Avian Wind Mages get a little bit bigger and just survive Moment of Craving. So that is protection. We want that. Alright, Dive Down is protection. And now we have... we're in a pretty good state. I like where this game's going. It's going much smoother than the previous game. Vicious Offering's bad, especially when they decide to sacrifice. So that bird's going down no matter what. I didn't have the mana open for Dive Down. They got me. So, alright. I think I do need a clock. The longer this game goes on, the more times they have to get an answer for my Avian Image. So let's get the Water Trap Weaver down. It will be able to attack next turn if they don't play another creature. We have that Dive Down and we have an Opt, so things are looking good in terms of protection and pump. Obviously, we can survive a pump with the Opt, that's the way we'll go. If we can't, then we'll Dive Down. Dimir Informant does very little. It does block up the ground, which is a little unfortunate, but we fortunately do have a 1 with the Wind. So 1 with the Wind makes a 4/4 Water Trap Weaver fly. So that's, I think, going to be our play. They set up their next turn, probably looking for some removal. Alright, let's go. Let's make that Water Trap Weaver fly. Alright, so now we have 6 in the air. Looks like it's going to be a 3-turn clock, which is fine. We can make it maybe a little bit faster if we use one of our 2 spells here. But I think we're okay with the 3-turn clock. They're going to have removal. I know they're going to have removal. Their clock is so slow, we're not going to worry about it. It's drastic in order to beat us through the ground. So I think we're just racing. Let's race. Vroom vroom. If they can pull something that'll eat my boys, then I'm kind of hosed. But right now, we're doing alright. Now, they are thinking about something. That's not bad, or that's not good. It's kind of bad. So, artful takedown. Alright. I'm assuming that yellow means it's the second clause, so we really want to make sure that we don't lose our Watercraft Weaver. We invested a lot in that guy. We would hate to lose it. I'm okay losing 2 damage this turn. I guess 3 damage. It extends the clock a little bit, but it's so much better to have 2 boys on board than to lose that. So, yep. Let's get in. And 7 damage. With that opt-in hand, we can pump next turn and win the game. So we're doing alright still. We can win next turn. And they're still pretty far away. So I think things are looking up. Island does nothing. So let's see what they have. Maybe we can pull like a Spell Pierce if they try to destroy one of my guys when we're attacking. So let's opt now. Artful Takedown. Okay. I guess they really don't like that bird. So we will draw Coldwater Snapper. That's a big boy. That's one of our major threats. It's got Hexproof, which seems to be pretty important against this guy because he seems to have a lot of targeted removal. So let's deal 4 through the sky, and let's play down our Hexproofer just to make sure. Now with 3 health, they'll have to block it every turn. They've got 2 people on board, and it looks like he's had enough. Cool! I think that means that we win a Firemind's Research with alternate art. Let's see. Okay, claim prize. What is it? It's what we wanted. We made it to the Firemind's Research.